Among the farmlands of central Iowa, a unique piece of U.S. history is still thriving and giving visitors a taste of the past. This is where a group of German immigrants fleeing religious persecution settled in the mid-1850s. They lived a communal lifestyle, sharing property and resources, while making sure all residents had housing, food, and medical care. They established this community, known as the Amana Colonies. The Amana Colonies are a collection of 7 villages. There's Amana, also called Main Amana, Middle Amana, High Amana, West Amana, South Amana, Homestead, and East Amana. The villages are connected by a loop called 220th Trail, also known as the Amana Colonies Trail. If the name Amana sounds familiar, you might have an Amana appliance in your kitchen. The Amana Refrigeration Company was established in Middle Amana in 1934. Now owned by Whirlpool, there is still a massive factory just off the Amana Colonies Trail. The colonies were established in 1856. They relied on crafting and farming for the entirety of their economy, and lived a communal lifestyle until the 1930s. Each village had its own smokehouse, bakery, orchards, and vineyards. According to the Ronneberg restaurant, meals were cooked in communal kitchens where several dozen people would eat together. Meal times were restricted to 15 to 20 minutes, and they were not meant to be social events. They were meant for eating, and conversation was discouraged. At one point, there were as many as 55 communal kitchens throughout the villages. Most of the buildings in the Amana Colonies are the original buildings from the 1850s. During our trip, we stayed at the village guest suite, which was formerly a Zimmer shop and communal residence, dating back to 1856. In the village of High Amana is the High Amana General Store. It opened for business in 1857 and has been servicing the community ever since. The store has changed minimally in over 160 years, still featuring the original ceiling, wooden floor, and glass display cases. Apart from East Amana, which is exclusively a residential community, every village in the colonies has something to offer visitors. However, most of the activity is concentrated over several blocks in Main Amana, and there is something for everybody. The Millstream Brewing Company is famous for its multiple types of beer and soda. If you enjoy wine, 5 different wineries over a 4-block area offer a variety of flavors, from the fruity and sweet to the dry. Each winery offers complimentary sampling so you can find your favorite flavor, along with plenty of gifts for wine aficionados and even some specialty foods.
Okay, so out of the 3, which brownie mix sounds better?
I think the Knock You Naked. I don't know, they all look really good.
I'm willing to accept the better than sex challenge.
If you enjoy hunting for that perfect treasure, there are several antique and consignment shops. And if you enjoy snacking and sweets, this might be your dream vacation getaway. First, there's the Amana Bakery, filled with delicious homemade pastries. Right next door to the bakery is the popcorn and ice cream shop, filled with more flavors of popcorn than you can imagine, including some salty ones, some fruity ones, and some other really interesting ones. Across the street is the Chocolate House, where you can watch your favorite chocolate treats being made, a great way to be tempted into purchasing something delicious, from handmade fudge to truffles. The Amana Colonies slogan is "The Handcrafted Escape," and for good reason. In addition to the snacks and sweets, and some of the wines, most everything else in the colonies is handmade on site. The Broom and Basket Shop, located in West Amana, makes all of its products in store. The Amana Woolen Mill, also in operation since the late 1850s, sells handmade aprons, scarves, blankets, and quilts in multiple shops. And you can also pick up your batch of woolen dryer balls, an environmentally friendly alternative to dryer sheets, which also reduce drying time. There is also handmade furniture at the Amana Furniture and Clock Shop. The centerpiece of the shopping experience is the Amana General Store. Immediately upon walking into the store, you are hit with an overwhelming array of items. Here you can find gifts for anyone on your list. Foodies can find anything they want, from dressings and relishes, to jams and jellies, to your very own batch of Amana pancake mix.
Okay, so tell me about this pancake mix.
They're delicious, and the pancakes come out super, super thin, and then if you cook them just right with enough butter, then they're nice and crispy around the edges.
The general store is comprised of 2 additional stores within it. In the basement, you'll find the Amana Coffee and Tea Company, with dozens of different coffee beans which can be ground free of charge, and plenty of teas for everyone's tastes. There's also the International Christmas Market, a collection of half a dozen rooms that are completely filled to the brim with Christmas items all year round. It's easy to get lost in the lights and festive music, as the rooms seem to keep going and going and going. Whether visiting in December, October, or April, it's tough to not get into the holiday spirit after spending some time in the Christmas market.
Are you awake? Okay, we're up before the sunrise today, and apparently in Amana there's only one reason to get up before the sunrise. Hopefully we get it.
In the communal days, each of the colony's villages had its own bakery to cater to the needs of the village. Today, the only original bakery still in operation can be found in Middle Amana. This tiny operation is Han's Bakery, run by Doris Han.
Just go through a little door with a sign that says open on it.
Throughout most of the year, Doris wakes up in the middle of the night and starts baking, using the bakery's original oven. She fulfills any phone orders she's received and bakes a few more items for any customers that might walk in. She opens at 7 a.m. and closes up shop once everything is sold out, usually within a couple hours. We purchased an apple streusel and a couple cinnamon rolls, and they were absolutely heavenly. If you're a nature lover, there is plenty of unspoiled land around the colonies. Just off Route 6, at the southern edge of the colonies, there is a series of secluded nature trails. It's the perfect place to appreciate the beauty of the spring bloom or the autumn foliage, as long as you come prepared for the possibility of wet weather.
So we've been on the trail for about, what, 60 seconds? What advice do you have so far?
Wear hiking boots and dress for the weather, because I didn't, so I'm wearing Alex's hoodie.
We don't have hiking boots, we're in tennis shoes.
There are several restaurants in main Amana. The 2 most well-known are the Oxyoke Inn and the Ronneberg. Both feature family-style or plated options of German specialties and classic favorites, like roast beef and fried chicken. We recommend dinner at the Oxyoke and breakfast at the Ronneberg, but you can't go wrong at either place. Weekend reservations are highly recommended. Even during the week, there is a consistently steady crowd at each. Due to the size of the villages, there are few lodging options available. There are several bed and breakfasts throughout the villages, and as of early 2020, only 1 hotel. Interstate 80, just 15 minutes away, has more lodging options. Less than 20 minutes away is the town of Williamsburg. We visited the colonies in the middle of the week, and throughout our time, there were very few visitors. Our dinner at the Magpie Pizzeria was enjoyed with less than a dozen other people. If you are looking for a truly peaceful experience in the colonies, visit during the week. The colonies come alive during most weekends. Reservations are recommended at the village's restaurants at that time. There are also many festivals throughout the year that bring in crowds from all over. These include Winterfest, the Quilt Festival, Wurst Festival, and the village's signature event, Oktoberfest. The one thing you won't find in the colonies is a nightlife. Most of the stores close by 5 p.m., and everything except the brew house is closed by 8 p.m., although later hours are seasonal.
Well, it's a little after 7. All the stores have been closed for a couple hours. We just had an excellent meal, and within the next hour all the restaurants will be closed too, and Amana will be asleep for another evening.
A National Historic Landmark in the middle of the Iowa farmlands, the Amana Colonies are a great place for a peaceful, secluded getaway, and to learn about another culture by stepping back into a simpler time.